Microphone check 1 2. What is this? What up? How is it? Yo, what up? Yeah, I just want to get on here today and just talk about power of fasting and how you can use it to just elevate your spiritual connection with God and just get you out of that negative feedback cycle, get you into more of a positive mind state. What's going on, brother? To initiate, because once you starve yourself, that's really what fasting is. You're starving the flesh. Once you starve the flesh, you show yourself that you're capable of discipline. Even if it's just only like fasting for like skipping one meal, like skipping like like breakfast or something that you normally eat, or maybe just like cutting out certain foods, like cutting out sugars, or like say you normally eat ice cream. I love ice cream. Normally you eat ice cream every night. Maybe just cutting that out one night or something. Just showing yourself that you have discipline, and instills a lot of confidence. And that's the mindset. That's the mind perspective. But the spiritual, so you're denying your flesh and you're feeding the spirit. Because if you deny your flesh, you're strengthening the spirit. So you're living in the spirit if you're denying the flesh. So if you're in a negative mindset right now, just honestly, the first thing I would say is go outside, get some sun on you. Like, I got my shirt off. Get some sun on you and exercise. You're gonna feel 10 times better. And also, if you're feeling like you're having gastrointestinal, I probably said that wrong, but if you're having like GI tract issues, or you're just feeling like your stomach's, you got bubble guts or whatever, like it's probably what you're eating most likely. So try fasting, like I said, and that can be as simple as cutting out certain foods for a day or maybe even a week. And can also be not eating for like skipping out a meal or skipping out 2 meals. For me, I'm just going the whole day without fasting. It just helps me. I've done this a couple times. Longest I've gone at 3 days. I'm gonna work up to 4 days and then 5 days. But like a lot of people are afraid to do that. Maybe like if you're in the fitness industry like I am, maybe you're afraid to miss out on some gains, or like kill your gains, because you need to be constantly feeding your muscles and like your glycogen stores. But carbohydrates, I'm not sure if you guys know this. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Eating carbohydrates is actually, if in excess and if done at the wrong times, carbohydrates can actually be detrimental to your health. I know that's a shock to a lot of athletes who might be listening to this, who might think carbohydrates are, it's like, oh, you need them to perform. They're your energy stores, right? If you're not an athlete, I'd say to be smart with your carbohydrates. So if you're an athlete, carbohydrates, you can basically eat whatever you want, because you're going to burn those as fuel and you're going to use those. So it doesn't really matter like what you eat, I guess, if you're an athlete, because you're going to take in, especially like if it could be sugar, quick digesting carbohydrates, like, I don't know, like a Rice Krispie treat. I know that's popular. You eat that, you're going to use it for fuel immediately. So I guess that doesn't really matter. But if you're not an athlete, if you're not like my man right here, who's running right now and using that energy, you probably, if you're like an office cat, you're going to be in the office for a while, you should probably be eating something like fruit for your carbohydrates, maybe even vegetables. But I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not going to get into too deep. But yeah, as I was saying, so fasting, I'm just going to say, if you're like something like who like different and new things, and you haven't tried out fasting, I would give it a try. The worst it can do is make you uncomfortable, and I think that's what a lot of people in today's society need, to be uncomfortable. Because when you're fasting, you're in a stressful situation, so it's put stress on your body. So cortisol is released, and cortisol is released when you exercise too. Cortisol, I know a lot of people talk about cortisol being bad, but it's necessary. A little bit of it's necessary. So definitely build up your your tolerance to fasting. So don't just go into a 2-day fast, even. Definitely not a 5-day fast. I would try, if you really feel like it, maybe even go a day, start off going a day, but I wouldn't really recommend that unless you're like me. First time I ever tried fasting, I tried the whole day. I didn't make it. I ended up going like 16 hours, but 16 hours is actually really good because it starts the process known as autophagy, which is basically your cells eating themselves. And it's, again, I'm not a scientist or anything, but it's good for your cells because they regenerate. It's basically cellular regeneration. So because normally when you're eating, most of the cells in your body are going towards digestion and moving around the energy source through your blood. But when you're not eating, when you're fasting, your body is using those cells to do other things, such as regenerate the cells themselves. But yeah, all that to say, just give it a try. If you haven't already, give it a try. There's a lot of good things that can come from fasting, especially like definitely mind and the spirit, the body as well. Because I mean, you're going to be using fat and you're going to be eating up those carbohydrate stores. Once those carbohydrate stores are used and you're just like chilling, you're going to be burning up a lot of fat. And your body releases ketones. It's a lot of deep process. If you really care about it, and like this is just you just learning about fasting, just from me, definitely do your research. There's a lot of good YouTube videos on there. I can put some links in the description about like actually the science of fasting and how to actually properly refeed yourself when you're done fasting. But yeah, man, if you're watching this and this is the first time you're hearing of fasting, just give it a try. Just start off by going without the breakfast or without the lunch. It's not gonna kill you. It's really not. Yeah, definitely don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But if this is the first time you're hearing of it, I'm glad you are. I'd say give it a try. But of course, do your research. I'm not a medical professional. I'm only a strength conditioning coach, a certified strength conditioning coach at that. But that being said, all love, peace, and blessings. Much love. Deuces.